Hello, gorgeous mermaids, humans, pirates. How are you? Happy November! It's November 2nd. It's my birthday. I turned 39 today. So I'm excited to be recording this today since I've had a hard time getting an episode out this week. And I wanted to make sure and pop in to let you know what is going on and what the heck happened with radio, podcast, theater, and all of the things. So let's start with that. I told you previously about my theater group, my amateur theater group that we got together, and we re-recorded in a roundtable format just with rum and hilarity a previous play that we did on the beach in Long Beach. Unfortunately, our setup, it was kind of a question mark as to whether it was going to work, and since we don't have a big budget here, it did not work. I was hoping to have two microphones that we could share between two sides of the table that we were all sitting around. And unfortunately, the computer didn't recognize both microphones, so we had to work off one and project. And the sound quality was not there. It will not be okay for you to listen to. And since some voices were low and some voices were loud, I'm just not going to be able to release it. Unfortunately, it was very fun, and I'm so thankful to my Following Seas crew who took the time to get together and record that. But I found out that we will probably need to buy some special equipment, like a bunch more mics and a sound recorder. I think that's what it's called, where you can plug different mics into different slots and pick up different audio tracks for each person, and that way if somebody's voice is really low or very loud, you can adjust those separately. So that experiment didn't work, but I'm hoping we can do it again in the future, hopefully when we have a larger budget. And that is one of the things I wanted to talk to you about today that maybe you could help with. If you've ever gotten something of value, a laugh, or been entertained by the Peace, Love, and Wine podcast, I would love to invite you to consider becoming a patron of the show. That includes a variety of options, which allow you to get some, I want to say notoriety, but I don't think that's the word I'm looking for. Some cred and some shout-outs and a great deal of gratitude from me. If you're listening to begin with, I appreciate you very much, and thank you for listening. This is our 50th episode, by the way, so that's also a special noted occasion. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the different membership levels. So if you want to become a supporter of the podcast, I'm calling it a variety of things, whether you can become an official member of the Peace, Love, and Wine Club / Microproducer / patron, because that's really what this is for. It's for people who say, hey, that's fun, I like what you do, I want you to be able to continue doing it, I'm going to throw a little money at you. If you want to do that, that would be fantastic, and I have a really simple way for you to do that today, very inexpensively, and that is the $1 birthday special. So it's $1 a month, and that is good until tomorrow, Sunday, November 3rd, and that includes extra behind-the-scenes boobies, burlesque, the burlesque that I've been working on. You'll get to see more behind-the-scenes photos and videos than the general public will, extended videos, probably some of my my crying, my tears, and posts of the challenges that come along with, taking your clothes off in front of people and shimmying and that sort of thing. And I wanted to do something that was just fun and special and made it easy for anybody who's like, yeah, I'd like to do that, but make it really easy for me. So I'm making it easy for you. It's only $1 until Sunday. And the way you do that is you go to patreon.com/peace, love, and wine. That's patreon.com/peace, love, and wine. And you can sign up for a variety of tiers there, including the birthday $1 tier. And also we have other options as well. There's the $5 level, which will also get you your name or your business name in the show notes. We have the $10 level, which will get you a shout-out on an upcoming podcast and an ongoing mention in the show notes, including a handwritten love letter by yours truly in month 2. We have a $25 level where you will get a monthly shout-out on the podcast when the show is active, and your name or business name and website in the show notes, as well as a handwritten letter in month 2. And we have different opportunities that we can create if you have something in particular that you'd like to promote, or if you feel like you have a company, product, or service that you'd like to advertise on the show. I'm open to talking about custom options there too. But basically what it does, we're trying to build a foundation of supporters who will help us do things like keep the lights on, help us with podcast hosting. Right now we're trying to get to our first 5 members, and right now we're up to 4, so that's rocking. And once we get 5 members, that'll basically cover light editing of the podcast, or actually really what it will cover is our monthly hosting service for the podcast. And then the next tier will go up for the next goal, I guess, support goal would be to get our editing costs covered. And I guess if you're new here and you haven't been listening for very long, or today's your first time, thanks for checking us out. And as I said in the very, very, very first episode way back there in the trailer, this show is about dropping some of the perfection that we might be living with. It's not going to be perfect, as you can probably tell. I'm recording this in my car after driving 2 hours starting at 6 a.m. to go to my burlesque class today. And so I wanted to make sure to get it out today. And so I was like, okay, we're doing it in the car. So that's just how I roll sometimes, is done is better than perfect. And I want you to be able to take that same thinking in your life and realize that not everything has to be perfect, and sometimes things are just fun, and sometimes there's, in the doing and the imperfection, you'll discover more things anyway than you would if you were trying to get it right. And I would never release any of these shows if I was trying to make them absolutely perfect, because I would just never be satisfied. So I hope you can take a lesson in that and work on that in your own life. And in general, just know that this show is here to support you living a better life, stressing less, enjoying more time with your friends and family. These are all the things that I stand for. But really, bolstering up yourself first so that you have all the energy for those other things in your life. So that's self-care. That's managing your mind. That is thinking about, again, with your mind, mindfulness and meditation. Those are some of the things. And really about finding more play, especially as adults, in the everyday life. So if those are some things that you could use, stress less, more joy, then I hope you'll continue to keep on listening. And back over to updates of what's coming next. Okay, I've been talking about the Radio Podcast Theater, which is now on hold since we don't have the right equipment. Following that is the burlesque thing. It's happening. It's totally happening. And starting next week, I'm going to be releasing an interview I did with a burlesque performer, Ginger Fatal, from The Dirty Little Secrets. They perform in Long Beach and Palm Springs primarily, and they are super fun, and I had a really good conversation with Ginger. I took my first burlesque class with her in Orange County, and she was really fun to talk to and ask a bunch of different questions. If you've ever wondered what it's like behind the scenes, you'll get some info there. And then I have another interview I did that will probably turn into a couple episodes with Miss Pearl Necklace. So we had some really interesting conversation, and that one we did, I'm calling that one Podcasting Under the Influence, because there was substances, including wine, that may have been partaken before we recorded. So we'll see how that experiment goes. I haven't re-listened to that yet, but we did have good sound, I think, because it was just the two of us with the mic. We did that one in person. I like doing that sometimes. So, yes, I look forward to bringing you at least 3 burlesque shows in the near future. And then I'm thinking towards the end of November, December, we might go on hiatus. I might replace some of the early episodes and do sort of a best of the podcast. So that's where I'm thinking right now. As you can tell, this being released on a Saturday, I have not been very great at getting Wednesday episodes out. I really would like to. It's just been challenging for me to make that happen. So I'm still going to work on it, but I'm not making any promises. Getting one out a week is challenging enough at this point. So we'll see. Maybe when we have a stronger budget and more Peace, Love, and Wine Club members, we can do that. And as we get more members, I'll start adding more perks, too. I'd love to hear your suggestions. If you think it would be fun to do a virtual happy hour where we are all meeting over the Internet and having a little wine and talking about life and business, that's something we can do. If you want to do an in-person meetup, those are things that we can do. And, hey, if you're in Southern California, December 13th, my first burlesque show is happening in Ramona, California at Cheers of Ramona, and it's a pretty small space. There will be tickets sold in advance, so I will definitely post some information about that. It would be super fun to have you there. And let's see if I missed anything here. I think I got it all, other than to say that if just with the membership and the Patreon, you can cancel that at any time, so just to let you know. But it's really a way for our creators, podcast hosts, artists to try to get some regular income to back up their art and the work that they do. So if that's something that feels good to you, again, I invite you to go to patreon.com/peaceloveandwine, and I will put that in the show notes. Much love. Have a super fun weekend. I know I will. I'm having a jazzy birthday party tonight, and I love you.